Hello, jazz nerds of the internet. It is my displeasure to tell you that Peter Brotzmann has died, and so in tribute to him, I'm going to show you my Peter Brotzmann records. Let's go.
Six in the morning.
So if you don't know who Peter Brotzmann is, or was, I question why you're watching this video at all. So that'd be weird. But, so he was an avant-garde, free jazz saxophone player. I think this is his most known work. I've done multiple videos where this was either included or featured at this point. This is Machine Gun. This came out in like 1968. It is not something you really listen to, but something you experience. I think in my video, Jazz for Punk Music Fans, I think I call this sort of hardcore free jazz. Like if you consider Eric Dolphy and Ornette Coleman or Don Cherry, you know, sort of avant-garde free jazz, this is above and beyond that in terms of craziness. I don't think a lot of people can say this. This is the second jazz record I ever bought. And I bought it because I was trying to get into jazz. I went to a local record store and I was flipping through their jazz records and I saw this and I was like, this looks like a punk record. And I flipped it over and I'm like, this is definitely not a punk record. And then I went home and I researched, what was this? And I found out about what it is. If you've never heard this, I don't know. It's sort of unexplainable in words. You have to hear the sound of it. It is pretty out there. In fact, the Jazz Bums just did a stream tonight where they discuss Peter Brotzmann, and Jazz Bum Mike talks about how he just picked this up. I like to think it's because of me. My ego says, you know, he saw my video and he's like, I should check that out. But probably not. So, just recently, like in the past week or two, I got a whole lot of Peter Brotzmann records, and that was sort of spurred by going to a record show. I haven't gone to a record show in a long while, many years at this point. And I was flipping through jazz records, and I found another record that looked like a punk band. And I flipped it over, and Peter Brotzmann was in. I was like, apparently every Peter Brotzmann record looks like a punk record, which is pretty crazy for jazz. And I didn't end up buying that record. That was this record. It was Last Exit's cassette recordings. The guy wanted $20. It had a drill hole, and then it had a radio station call letters on the label, so I didn't buy it. I didn't want to pay $20 for it. But I went home and I researched Last Exit and I listened to a whole lot of it. And I found that I found to be their best album. Now this, if you're not familiar with Last Exit, this is probably the most accessible Peter Brotzmann stuff that I've heard. This has 4 real monsters of their instrument. Sonny Sharrock is on guitar. This is really out there for jazz. It doesn't sound like a jazz record. It sounds more of like a post-rock, sort of punk, sort of metal record with some Peter Brotzmann on top of it. I like this record so much when I listened to it. I didn't know who Sonny Sharrock, I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I didn't know who that was. So I listened to one of his records and I liked it a lot, and I went out to the same record store I got that from, and they had one of his records, and I bought that, and I will discuss that in about a week when I go through all the records I bought this month, because let's keep this Peter Brotzmann related. I recommend listening to this if you are a fan of punk, I would listen to this. If you're a fan of jazz, I'd listen to this. Hardcore, I'd listen to this. Metal, I'd listen to this. It's pretty out there. This is a reissue from a couple of years ago. This is on this color vinyl. It's also on black vinyl. And so after I picked that up, I kind of went on a Peter Brotzmann buying spree. I bought a whole bunch of other stuff. So based on the Sonny Chirac thing, I bought this, Fragments, Chirac and Brotzmann. This is a limited edition, theoretically, of, I don't know, someone said on Discogs it's 1,000. It's not 1,000 because my copy is 1,424. So I guess they're just continuously pressing these. I haven't actually opened this up yet, but this looks like it is silk screened, but I don't believe that it is. Maybe it is. It kind of has a little bit of texture through the plastic. So this is put out by this Oka. I don't. You probably can't see that record label. They have these available, at least before he died, relatively inexpensively. So they had this, and I think this is another one from them. Yep. This is Full Blast, Crumbling Brain, on Oka as well. This was available last I looked. I think it was like $20 or $18. They sell a lot of Peter Brotzmann stuff, but a lot of it is CD, and it's hard to differentiate between what's a CD and LP. I assume the stuff that's $18 is an LP, and the stuff that's like $12 is a CD. This one I have listened to. And again, it kind of has like this pseudo silk screened thing going on, but it's not silk screened. And then this one's also theoretically, this is also from Oka. This is another theoretically limited pressing. The Peter Brotzmann Chicago Tintet. Is that how you would pronounce it? I don't know. Listen, guys, I listen to punk music. We don't have tintets in punk. Stonewater. This should be like numbered there. It's not. I did open this. And I got this. This is Peter Brotzmann and two other dudes. The worse, the better. Also, I haven't listed this one yet. And then I also picked up this one. And I think my friend Jared had this at his store the other day. I think I was looking at it. We talked about it a little bit. This is Peter Brotzmann and those two dudes from that. And then another dude whose name I can't pronounce. And I don't know if these two are available easily. Most of this stuff has been pressed not in the U.S., so in the U.S. or North America, by and large, it might be difficult to obtain, especially now that he's passed. Everyone tends to jump on bandwagons after someone's passed, and then they buy up all the stuff so they can pretend like they were always a fan, maybe? I don't know.
I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but can I just say, kind of look like an asshole.
It sounds kind of crappy. Maybe I'll cut that out. Maybe I'll leave it in. But anyway, Peter Brotzmann, the one guy who's probably more annoying to my wife than I am. I'm going to put a video here of when I first talk about Machine Gun, and then I'll do, like, over here will be my jazz records for punk fans, and then down here I'll do something else. Maybe my top 5 most hated jazz records, in which I say that Eric Dolphy's Out to Lunch is the worst record I've ever heard. All right, so R.I.P. Peter. Have a good day.